As Universal Studios prepares its latest theme park in Epic Universe for opening day on May 22nd, 2025, there have been some operational issues that have left fans unhappy, with the most noteworthy being Universal's implementation of its virtual line system for their Harry Potter and the Battle for the Ministry attraction. Let's talk about Epic Universe fans being able to enroll into Universal's virtual line system multiple times, and in some cases, even from home, well outside of Central Florida's newest theme park here on That Park Place.
Epic Universe, the obviously brand new theme park from Universal Orlando Resort, faces backlash over the Harry Potter virtual queue glitch that allowed a user to join from home over in-park guests. Now, Vesh, this is a huge problem. Now, this virtual queue has been nothing short of a disaster for in an otherwise stellar rollout of the finest theme park in North America and possibly the world. Now, Universal's upcoming park, Epic Universe, isn't even officially open yet, but it's already facing mounting pressure from theme park enthusiasts due to issues surrounding one of its most anticipated attractions. Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry has captured the imagination of early guests with its stunning visuals and next-gen ride technology. But that's if you get to ride it, because the ride is also drawing criticism, not for its design, but for the Harry Potter virtual queue system that guests are required to use. Now, one post has ignited this fresh controversy. This comes from Epic Universe Update. This gentleman here, who I assume is a gentleman, says, I was able to get in the 6 p.m. Harry Potter Ministry drop today from home in my pajamas without a valid ticket for the day. I made magic for a friend who was in the park and took it away from all the other people that were in the park.
Yes.
This is that's the problem.
This is a huge problem. This is why I retweeted it on X, because I was like, this is massive right here. And to underscore this, folks, I mean, look, if you have a very limited capacity attraction, which from what we understand, Battle for the Ministry is, we're talking about, I've heard theoreticals as high as 2,000, but they can't get all the vehicles on the actual track itself and reach that theoretical maximum right there. So this is below 2,000, but let's say it is 2,000. Let's say they're going to be open for 12 hours, which amounts to about 24,000 guests that can actually ride this in a day. Well, this park is probably going to max out in around 30 to 35,000. That means that not every single person who actually visits Epic Universe that day can actually ride this attraction. So taking a slot or two is big times, and especially for somebody who's not actually in the park. Now, here's the other thing too, Marvin, and I think you can speak to this. You can actually get multiple VQs that day for the same person. Now that is a huge issue, because now you're taking that that theoretical maximum of 24,000 under this scenario, right? And now you're not distributing that evenly throughout those guests. Now you have rewriters, which now less people can even enjoy this attraction.
Yeah, you see here in the theme park wizard is saying it maxes out at 50 after opening, which is wild. So the virtual queue launches at 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 6 o'clock, and it's not. It's not even saying like not everybody that comes to the park that day is not going to get to ride. The majority of the people who come in the park that day are not going to ride. I went over to Harry Potter and the Battle for the Ministry, and I asked the girl that was standing there, I said, hey, like, what's going on with this? Like, do a lot of people not get on this? She said that most people don't, and that they have an incredibly low capacity. Now, what I will say for this is that while Disney has kind of implemented the virtual queue system in almost a predatory way, which basically it's designed to limit capacity so you have to pay to get on, Universal seems to be issuing it out of necessity, I think, because of issues related to the attraction itself. It is a stunning attraction by all accounts. Everybody that's ridden it has raved about it. However, the issue that I am starting to see here is that they just don't have it's breaking down entirely too much, and therefore they're trying to stop it from there being massive pileup on the queue. So right. I understand the reasoning behind it, but this is just, it's nonsense. The entire system is nonsense.
Yeah, and this is kind of like a Jonas by Adventure, right? Where for every single minute that it is not actually online and operational, that's one less minute that you can actually have guests riding through. So that's why this virtual queue system is very, very important to implement right now, because not only is it hitting its theoretical maximums, but it's also, it's struggling with downtime, which, look, this is a extremely advanced attraction right here, with very complex vehicles and so forth. But at the same time, if it's going to experience all that downtime, that's even less people that can actually experience that, which is why they're implementing something like a virtual queue. This whole thing needs to be addressed. First of all, you should be able to limit people who have either scanned in or have a proximity to the actual park itself. That way, you can stop people from, collecting one in their pajamas. Also, too, you have to be able to monitor who actually has gotten a VQ before, so that way they can't get a second or third on those subsequent drops right there. We saw a lot of this with the first time virtual queue was actually implemented in a theme park for a specific attraction. I believe that was Rise of Resistance back in the day. I remember experiencing this back in 2020 when Rise of Resistance actually opened. I mean, I remember, back in the day, it was like one drop and that was it. There was no extra lightning lane bypass for the virtual queue system. And so if you did not get that drop at next to the hours, I mean, it was like
6 or 7 in the morning, I think.
Yeah, well, that was a Walt Disney World implementation. Disneyland was a little bit different because you had to scan in first, and then the drop would actually happen. So you had to get up real early in order to get the scan in. And I mean, I was doing speed tests all over the park. I was looking at coverage bands and seeing where my carrier would actually cross over the most. I was doing ping tests. I was practicing. I was doing all the things that I possibly could in order to get that drop because there was only one. And while I was successful, a lot of people weren't. And in this system, Universal has to take some notes and figure this thing out.
I'm just wondering how it's possible that this happened, because obviously we know that it's not linked to your park ticket. My wife doesn't have her park ticket, associated with her app. So I have her park ticket on my app. And so she was still able to try to get into the virtual queue while we were there. Now, I assumed it meant it was a geotag. It was like, well, if you're there, then you'll be able to, actually do it. It just is to see that you're in Epic Universe. Apparently, that's not the case unless this person happens to live in Epic Universe, which I sincerely doubt.
Yeah, and this is pretty inexcusable because this is supposed to be the most advanced and technologically advanced theme park in the world at this point, and this is some basic IT infrastructure stuff. I mean, we this kind of system has existed, well, like I said previously, for at least 6 years, if not longer. Mm-hmm. So we definitely got to figure this out, and this will be an operational hindrance to the guest experience for sure.
Absolutely. But it doesn't end there, Vash. It does not end at Harry Potter. Apparently, the virtual queue nightmare for Universal guests might actually extend further, because Universal may use the deeply unpopular and controversial virtual queue for Epic Universe lands, sparking major concern. Now, Vash, this would be an unmitigated disaster if they did this.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.